Hey, it's Dawn Nicole here, and today I'm going to talk about something that most people question. How do I measure success? How can I tell if a program, an event, some sort of experience was successful or not? What do I measure it by? So let's jump into this right now so that we can clarify the differences. First of all, when it comes to measuring success, even though qualitative results are good, qualitative is open-ended feedback where people just kind of share with you their experience. But what you're really after, if you're trying to measure anything, is something numeric, quantifiable. And quantifiable is different than qualitative. Quantifiable is where you use numeric or some sort of metric measuring system in order to measure success. Now that we covered that, let's talk about the two things that people often confuse: the difference between results versus outcomes. So I'll set it up this way. Recently, Queen City Women in Business had a major event. We had our second annual Queen City Women in Business breakfast event that we have year over year. And as a team, we're always looking to measure success. So there's two things that we look to measure. We measure results versus outcomes, or results and outcomes. Now, what are results though? Because people often confuse results for outcomes. Results are something that you can see immediately. However, results don't always equal outcomes. I'm going to let you noodle on that for a second, because you might be like, what are you talking about, Dawn Nicole? Results do mean outcomes. No, they don't. Results are something that happen typically right away. It's a measurement that you can see in real time that typically happens right before or during the event. But outcomes are about what happens after the event or after the experience because the person showed up. So let me be clear about the differences so we can sort of understand this and unpack this. So as you think about results, things that are results that you might measure if you're doing an event like what we just did is if you project and your goal is 300 people, did 300 people show up, right? If yes, that's a result. That's immediate. But those 300 people may have shown up, but they didn't do anything else after. So that's not necessarily an outcome. If nothing else happened as a result of the result, then there's no outcome, okay? So again, if those 300 people showed up, that's a result. But if 50% of those 300 people, 150 people, became members of Queen City Women in Business, then that is an outcome of that result. Make sense? Let's look at some more results versus outcomes. So other results that we could measure event day. Did the event start on time? Result, yes, we got great results that we started on time. That's something that we can measure and check and say, yes, this happened to 100% accuracy. So quantify it. Yes, we had 300 people. That is a result. Did our breakout rooms go overtime, or did they stay within our time box? That is a result. Did we get all of the food out on time that we expected? Were the results favorable or were the results unfavorable? So these are some results. Also, other results that you can look at that are immediate is, did we have high engagement and participation as we expected and hoped? Yes, that's a result, right? Because you could say on a scale of 1 to 5, engagement, high being 5, did we have high engagement or low? And so for us, some of our results that day is we had all of the numbers that we expected that went well. Our food came out on time. I mean, there were some things behind the scenes we have to work on, but overall we had pretty good results. We also looked at what's called social media or social proof. Social proof is where you give someone sort of a task. Hey, use this hashtag and we want to see it, right? And we were able to see over 10 different posts, that's a number, that had the hashtag, which means people complied, they listened, and by all accounts, people had a good time. All of these, my friends, are results: engagement, participation, social proof, the timing of the food, did things start and end on time, time boxes, did we have the amount of people we expected? Results, 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 results. And by all accounts, we can say that based on the results, we had a successful event. But as a company, it doesn't just start and stop with your results. You are also tracking outcomes. So what are some types of outcomes that you should be tracking if you're a membership-based company or a company that's like Queen City Women in Business? Some of those results are as follows. Number one, memberships. Did you see a spike or increase in memberships? Number one. Number two, our end goal is to help women get their business certifications so that they can compete at the highest levels with corporate contracts or get access to decision makers. And so another result we might be looking for is, did we see a spike, or another outcome we'd be looking for is, did we see a spike in women getting their certifications after the event? So if you're counting, so far I gave you two outcomes, right? Outcome number one is a spike in membership where you convert attendees to members. That means you're doing a great job. These these were the outcomes we had hoped for. Another result, or excuse me, outcome is when you can see women go from being an attendee who might already be members to getting certified. Another outcome is tracking how many women actually completed the certification process. And in order for you to track outcomes on an ongoing basis, you need to collect ongoing data. So this brings me to my next point. How do you collect this data to identify if you had success at all? One of the things we did is right after, like within 24 hours of our event, we sent out a poll, a survey that was qualitative and quantitative, right? So it gave us some open-ended feedback, but it also gave us some numeric feedback. And we asked questions. Was this a 5-star rated event? How would you rate this event, right? 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 stars. Happy to report we got 5 stars. We're excited about that. So it was a 5-star event. We also said, what did you like least? What did you like most? On a numeric system. So we were able to collect a lot of data to get some immediate results. And here's my difference. Results are always instant and immediate, while outcomes are ongoing and sustainable, right? They're typically longer term. What happened afterwards because you were in the room that day. So a way to track ongoing outcomes would be for us to continue to run polls 30 and 60 days later. Who applied for their certification within 7 days of this event? Who actually received their certification back to show that they are a diverse supplier? So anyway, I hope that this is helpful on the differences between results versus outcomes and how to measure and track your success. Dawn Nicole signing off. Take care.